Morpheus is the ultimate asset pack for WebPlus. It has over 1200 amazing assets. Click the link to find out more. In this video, we're going to continue to work on our website, and this time I'm going to show you how to add a slider to the home page. Okay, so I've loaded up our project and we're going to add a slider from the assets panel. Now, if that's not already showing on the left hand side of your WebPlus, then you can notice there's a little arrow here. If you hover over it, the panel will appear, and if you move away, the panel will disappear. But if you click on it, it will just stay there until you click on it again. Okay, so I'm going to go to the assets panel and I'm going to click browse, and under pack files I'm going to select sliders, and I'm going to go down to one called photos, and I'm going to select the 6th slider, which is this one, and I'm going to click close. I'm just going to drag it to the page, just like that. And the first thing I want to do is to move these arrows inside the slider. I'm just going to grab them and just move them inside. And I'm just going to select the whole slider, and using the transform panel, I'm going to move it to this margin, which is 10 pixels from the left. So I'll just under X put in 10, and I want it to be 90 pixels from the top. So I'll put in 90 pixels under Y. I want to change the dimension of the slider. I want it to be 960 pixels wide by 360 pixels high. So under width, I'm just going to make it 960 and make the height 360 pixels, just like that. Okay, so now I want to change the images within the slider to my own ones. Now, I can do that by going to the objects panel here, and I'll expand the slider, and you can see we've got each panel, and within each panel we've got each image. So we can just delete each image and then we can put in our own one. Or a slightly easier way is with the slider selected, you've got the slider studio. So I'm just going to click on that, and that will basically give you slider options at the bottom, panels, panel options, and task monitor. So we're interested in each panel, so we're just going to change the image in each panel. So I'll select the first one just by double clicking. You can see which one is selected just with that little eye icon. So I'm going to delete that image and add my own. So insert picture from file. And again, as with any image that you add to your website, you want to make sure that the size is as low as can be without compromising quality. So in this case, it will about 30 to 40 kilobytes, because you don't want them to be too big, otherwise it will take a long time for them to download. I'll just click open and just paste it there. And you always want to make sure that the images and everything you add are always within the dimensions of the slider. So you can always use the transform panel on the bottom right to make sure that they've not gone over, so to make sure it's not, for example, -1 or out by 1 pixel. Otherwise it causes problems with the sliders. So I'll just leave it like that. And as well as adding an image, you can add pretty much anything that you can add normally to a page. So let's just go ahead and add some text. And I'll just change the font to Brandish. And I'll change the size to say about 24 pixels. So that's great. Okay, so that's the first panel, and let's go to the second one. Again, I'm just going to delete that and enter my own image. You can actually make the image have a hyperlink as well. So I'm just going to right click, select the hyperlink, and under the hyperlink window, site page, I'm going to make this the About Us page. And to just make sure that people know that they can click on it, I'm just going to add a button. I'm going to give the label Learn More, and again set the hyperlink to the About page, just like that, and just put it there. And you can again add text or whatever you want to the panel. And this is now the third one we're going to do. So in this one, I'm actually going to add a YouTube video. So I'm just going to go and copy the address of a YouTube video. Okay, so this is the YouTube video that I want. So I'm just going to copy the address and then just go back to WebPlus. And on the quick builder panel on the left, again, if it's not there, just use the button arrow to make it appear. I'm going to be in the quick builder panel, and I'm going to go down to media and YouTube. I'm just going to drag that to the page, And under embed YouTube videos, where it says enter the ID of the YouTube video or paste the video's link, I'm just going to paste that address in there and click OK. And there's the video. So I'll just put that video there. And we've got one final panel. So again, I'll just delete that image and insert my own. Just like that, and click open and put it in there. Okay, so that's pretty much all the panels done. I'm not going to add anything more to this one. So let's just close the studio. And there's our slider with all our panels. And if we look in the objects panel, there's just one thing I'll show you. If we expand everything, you can see that we need the arrows to navigate the slider to be on the foreground slider panel, but they're not there. So they must, when I move them, they must move to a different panel. And that's quite common. So we're just going to find them and then just move them to the foreground. So there they are. So I'm just going to hold down Shift and select them both. Press Ctrl X, go to slider foreground, and Ctrl Alt V, and it will just paste it exactly where they were in the other panel, but this time they'll be on the foreground slider panel. I'm just going to move them to the left and to the right, just so that they're at the edges of the slider. And just to make sure that they're perfectly in the center vertically, I'm going to select the foreground, and then holding down Shift, select the button, and under the Align panel in the bottom right, I'm going to use center vertically to make sure it's vertically centered, and that one was, so that's fine. I'll just check this other one, and that one wasn't, so it's just moved it into position. Okay, so let's just preview that. Okay, so there's our slider, and if we use the arrow, it will go to the next slider, and if we use this arrow, it will go to the previous slider. And again, for example, on this one, we've got the button, which will take us to the About Us, and here we've got our YouTube video, which will play. And the final one is just our static image. Okay, so join me in the next video when I'll show you how to add some text and images to the page and how to lay out the page so it looks really nice. If you want to get the most out of WebPlus and take your web designing skills to the next level, then you need to take a look at Morpheus. It's our incredible asset pack for WebPlus with an amazing 1,252 assets, including desktop and mobile page layouts, custom sliders, accordions, graphics, pricing tables, and a whole lot more. Morpheus will help you develop professional websites quicker and faster. Click the link below to find out more and use the code 10OFF to get a 10% discount off Morpheus or anything else you order at www.iplus360.com. And remember, as well as premium products, we also have over 100 free downloads.